more no's you get should actually push you more to go, you know what, I'm really going to find a way. And when you do find a way, you think, that was impossible, but look what happened. People don't realize how important it is to say, hey, man, I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep going. It's taking that first step. It's the fear of the unknown. If I do this, what will people say? What will they think? For artists, to keep you creative. They don't let anybody tell you what music you should make. Forgive yourself for what you had to do in survival mode. Like, we all go through stuff, man. The stuff you have to do and just to survive. And you might be disappointed in yourself, but you can't. You have to be kind to yourself, which is, especially in this industry, you have to be kind to yourself. Work on your craft every day, but be you. Like, put out the music that you want to. Like, the doors that will open, I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future. Yeah. But as long as you keep true to yourself, you'll see doors open that you never imagined.
We began as an open mic.
Young creatives simply wanting to express ourselves.
As we supported each other, we started to witness the greatest within.
And without knowing, we grew into a talent hub.
As we began to detail our craft,
we found the courage to share our gift with the world.
From merchandise to the sold-out theatre productions.
To all the amazing people we met and collaborated with along the way.
The process of creating art helped us overcome our fears.
By teaching us
the power of art. We are here to tell you.
We're here to tell you.
We're here to tell you.
We are here to tell you.
We are here to tell you.
It's possible.
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 I'm Chad Isaacs, and this is Raw.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very, very special, important, wonderful guest in the house tonight. This man is the OG.
Love it.
Not a gangster, but a gentleman.
What a beautiful introduction.
This man is an investor in local talent. This man has done wonderful and magical things in the Cape Town entertainment industry. He is the founder and CEO of one of the biggest independent record labels Cape Town has seen. He goes by the name of Mr. Rudi Africa. Yeah!
You mustn't talk me up that much. I must live up to this. Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Hey, brother. Can I just say thank you for being here?
Thank you for having me.
My brother, you have been a personal mentor of mine.
Same, man. Appreciate it.
You have given me some of my first opportunities that I will be forever grateful in the industry. You have always shown me nothing but love and kindness and respect and encouragement and motivation.
That's it.
And you showed me, most importantly, possibility, what is possible. If you work hard, if you have a good team, you know, if you have a vision. So just
build each other up.
Yo, brother.
We have to encourage each other. We have to motivate each other. Because we're brothers.
Of course, bro. I love it. And I've always loved that.
Like I said, you're one of the most genuine people I've met in this industry. Like, there's a lot of different types you meet. And it was always very genuine with you. It was very easy to talk. No pride, no egos. Lovely, man. That's I like it.
And I think, one of the things that I loved about you, because dude, like, you won't even. I mean, if I must tell people like the story, can I share if you don't mind? I mean, you're supposed to be talking about yeah, please, man.
Please
sign this table.
Do it.
Maybe we should actually do that. Get the guest to sign the table. That's a great idea. You see, these you coming out with great ideas. I want my royalties.
No.
So. Yeah, bro. Like, I think, you've inspired me so much. Let's leave it at that. And let me ask you the first question, because otherwise I'm just going to shower you with compliments.
You can go on.
So, like, being like the boss, being the CEO of such a recognized label, right? Talk about some of the challenges. Some of the obstacles that you needed to sort of overcome to get where you are right now.
So I think it's, with everybody, with everything in life, it's taking that first step, man. It's the fear of the unknown. If I do this, what do people say? Well, what will they think? It's the fear of the unknown. But as you see, taking that first step is so important. You find out things there that if you're sitting on the sidelines, you would never ever know. You would never meet the people you would meet who open doors for you if you didn't take that first step.
100%.
But it's always about the people surrounding us, bro. It's about your team. It's about your people who are actually giving you advice, your mentors. People don't realize how important it is to say, hey, man, I like what you're doing.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Yes.
Yes. It's so important, man. It's so important. But it's your team. I tell you what, it's your team. It was never me alone. I could never do this alone. Like, there's so many people I could mention that, like, it contributed, whether it was one word of advice here, they just contributed to the whole story,
100%.
But
100%.
It's again, like, come back to it, just taking that first step. Don't be scared to do it.
And like, I think as an entrepreneur, and we were talking off air with one of the other guests, was we need to be able, right, to take that first step. We need to be able to venture into the unknown and sort of take on that adversity that we spoke about, because what's very important is that's what's going to bring out the best in us. So in terms of a Rude World, obviously being the front line, right, there will obviously be a lot of fires. There will obviously be a lot of barriers. There will obviously be a lot of just obstacles that stand in your way and you are just trying to go to the next level. So what are those barriers? What are those obstacles in your personal opinion?
I think in anything, man, anybody starting any type of business, you need cash, you need capital, you need investment. And sometimes, because you knew, nobody's going to say, yeah, all you need is everything on a platter for you.
100%.
But that would be, I would rather have it the hard way, you know what I mean? You learn so much from that. Like when we started, I had no idea about music, no idea about the music business. I just love music, and then, but as long as you have something to spark the fire to start, just start. Like a lot of people plan this whole thing out, but you plan 6 months in advance, you write it out, all these different things, and then you don't start because too many people who you spoke about your idea to tell you it's not a good idea. There's too many barriers.
Sometimes even they're the guys who start the idea.
Exactly,
like, this will never work.
But before we started, I asked, there was a guy I knew who had an independent label.
Yeah.
So I was like, this guy can give me the keys to the kingdom. Like I asked him, like, how do you start? What's the first step? What do you do? And he was like, it's too much paperwork. It's too much admin. Rather do something else. And I was thinking, is it like that? And I could have just stopped there and go, you know what? Maybe he's right.
Yeah.
But it's what your dream is what you want to do in life. So if that stops you, then it's not for you.
100%.
But then from there, you just go to Google. I tell you what, now we live in an age where you can just Google anything, bro. All the resources are at your fingertips.
All the information is
back
there.
in the day was tough.
Yeah, bro, we have to.
There was no SoundCloud.
You remember
there
that
was no YouTube.
that encyclopedia, that all that books.
You read the first page, that's all you knew in it. But that's
shout out.
But make me laugh. But it's the barriers, man. Are again, you want to start, and then you ask yourself, how are you going to start? If you're starting a music business, you need to have a studio, and studio equipment is expensive. If you look at a starting artist, you need to do a photo shoot, you need to do a music video, you need to record a song, and 20K music video, 5K photo shoot, recording a song, 5K post production, 50K before you even let people hear the song.
100%.
And then the fear, the barrier is you love this song. The whole team loves it. The artist loves it, obviously. And you put it out and people are like,
not for me.
And then that rejection can kill you. It can kill you. But it's always, I always say, always remember why you started. Like why we started was because we wanted to put local music
on the map,
local artists on the map. Because at that time, we were hearing things on radio where we would meet artists and then hear the music and go, this is amazing. Like, but why are we not hearing it?
100%.
And always the conversation was, we don't have that connection by that station.
Yeah.
And like, is that what it comes down to? You have to know somebody to get in. And I think it was, man, there's so much talent here. Like, we need to create a platform without having to rely on those things to go, yeah, people just listen. And now you have like SoundCloud, like I said, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, all of these platforms, all of these things where you can give it directly to 100%. The people. So there's no longer the challenge of, I couldn't get my song on radio, nobody heard it, I fail. Now it's like, you can hear the song. And you can look at Chance the Rapper, all these guys. SoundCloud, they blew up from SoundCloud.
Why?
People, it's direct to the fan, which is amazing.
Yeah.
They hear it, word of mouth. They tell you, listen, how many people send you music links? But check this new guy out.
Yeah.
From there, that's the most beautiful form of finding new music, I feel.
Bro.
So I think I answered
you did. You answered many other questions unasked. So can we like just dive a little into your journey? You know, as what we spoke a little bit off air, like. You never, people don't know this, you never started in music.
No, never, yeah.
You know, music was something that you were kind of, if I'm not mistaken, you were morphed into, but you were like interested, you were curious about
everybody
it, right?
Music. Everybody
exactly. So a little bit about your background and how there was a segue into music, how that led to a segue into music.
So, thank you, Chad, taking me way back now. So in college, what happened was, I would like to order like clothing off of eBay, man, and I would obviously wear the clothes to college. A lot of guys would ask me like, where did you get that? Like, I said, nah, not from here. So overseas. they would love that. But I was like, it was cheap to order off eBay at the time. And then I started getting like, can you order me one too, but different color? And then, but keep it hush. I said, no, cool, order. And I started getting like maybe 10 orders a day.
Why?
I'm like, there's something here, there's something here. Like the guys like the exclusive sort of part of it. I have something you don't have, you know, and it's different. And then, but then, you know, fashion and music are so intertwined. So anyway, sort of long story short is that we started an online clothing business where we would stock different brands, and then we used to dress artists for their shoots. And again, we started doing it, and then again the conversation was, oh man, your music is amazing. Like, why aren't you like everywhere? And then they couldn't answer. It was just again about we can't get on a platform, we can't get on radio, we can't get on TV, we can't get anywhere.
Crazy.
And that was so sad. Me think, oh man, this is so sad. Like the amount of talent we were exposed to. This has to be like, no, this has to get out. Yeah. So one of our brand ambassadors at the time, DJ Nick Pereira, he was a pianist as well, and he had a musical background, man, like production and stuff like that. So the conversation got to, how do we integrate this thing, man? So we integrated so much that we went completely off the clothing into
It was a complete revolution.
Complete. But it was so great because from there we started figuring, okay, how do we register a label? How do you register a business? How do you do things? And we found this all on our own.
You start answering questions.
And there was one guy, I'll never forget, Neil Thurston. I spoke to like 3 people, and like I said, the one guy with the label said, nah, don't do it. It's too much admin. But Neil Thurston, he said, dude, he didn't know me from Bob, so he said, come to my place, I'll chat to you. This guy explained like the whole game to me. He even showed me, you need contracts for your artists? Yes, 40 different contracts. I was like a kid in a candy store there, but I was like, wow, but he gave me so much wisdom, so much guidance, and I'm forever grateful to him for that.
Shout out to him.
I don't know if he knows that, but really
shout out to him.
Shout out to him. Isn't joking now, I think.
Quite.
But yeah, man, so it got to a point again where we were like, let's try this music thing. Let's be that label that really sort of promotes and puts local artists on the map. And then it was a hustle to find cash to buy studio equipment, sit up in my room and convince people to come record without. So when you knew and you start to listen to the label, they go, what have you put out before? Like, nothing. Okay. Like, that's you. So the beautiful thing was we hustled, like no one wanted to invest because we were new, and then you have to go to your family, like make those loans, and then promise them, and they charge the family charge interest off.
No, family's actually to waste it up before the bank.
But the nice thing was, we didn't want to go to a bank because you
obviously
you're under pressure again immediately. Yeah. And when you're creating art. You can't have that. Like, you can't have to make money to pay it back. You can't have that. You're putting out something to please, to make money. Wrong intention. So, But the beauty of it, I said when we started, was eventually we got the studio up where we bought our PC from Erevan Pierce. Was our first PC. We couldn't afford an Apple, so we had to he made us a PC. I don't know how it did this. Anyway, this PC had Logic on it. Logic Studio. And JC Brown was our. This guy's he's flourishing now, man. Yeah. He's everywhere. Shout out to JC. He's like my son, man. Like I love him so much. A man of few words. I wish he would speak more. I really wish he would speak more. But he knew from a technical perspective, like what to do. Like I said, I had no idea what anything was in the studio, how to create music. I had no idea. I just knew that I had to have the people there to do that. 100%. And that was it, man. And then from there, we started scouring YouTube to look for artists. Now we needed artists. Yeah. And Nick sent us a YouTube link. He's like, guys, this guy's from Athlone. It's the next big thing. And now we heard the song and we heard it. We're like, this guy's not from here, man. This is international. Sending us this stuff. And it was Jimmy Nevis's Elephant Shoes. Yes. And at the time, it was it had 600 plays on YouTube.
Crazy.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure the guy's local. Like, this is incredible. Yeah. He's like, dude, I messaged him. We're meeting him next week. It's on. So now I'm thinking, now we got to meet this guy. We have nothing to show for it. We have a bedroom, a studio there with just barely at the but we got through. Like, how do we convince somebody to sign to you when you have like no history whatsoever? And like when we sat with him, we were just like fans, bro. We were just like giddy. Oh, we love you so much, dude. Like you're the future, and that's all we could say to him. Like, dude, you're the future. Yeah. Like, and I just the synergy was right, man. I just felt like, you all meet at in your times of your lives where, it's God's grace, bro.
And it felt right.
It felt right. Everything just aligned, and even though we didn't have anything to show for like our track record, we had nothing. It just from there just snowballed.
And I'm sure Jimmy, he saw your intention was pure, man. He saw he probably saw that these guys actually care about the music.
He did, which was great, and it was so pure, man, which was nice, and we learned so much from the process. Again, we didn't know the process of what to do once you record the song.
Dude,
what do you do? Like, okay, now what next? So you gotta master it. What does that mean? Like JC's telling me this, I'm like, dude, can you do it now? But JC was like, I can mix, but I can't master. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
So now I have to pay somebody to master. Dude, how much money do we have? Yeah. Dude, I got like 200 rand. Who's gonna master a song? But again, you meet people who will do you favors along with just because they believe
in the vision
or what you do. And it's just the feeling you get. And dude, music started going out, and we started meeting more artists, and then it just snowballed. Honestly,
you guys blew up super fast.
And it was.
You guys blew up super fast. And I mean, for people who don't know Jimmy, I tell you, the first time I met Jimmy, like actually met him, right? He came to support Janice at the West End, and I was there with one of my artists at the time, Vonsies, right? So Von was performing, Janice was performing, and I chatted to Jimmy backstage. I personally couldn't believe how nice he was. He was like just super genuine, like super nice. I've actually said that in a podcast before, but bro, like we had about a 20-minute conversation, right? And I mean, this is after Elephant Shoes and Artboxing, and you know that in maybe about 6 months, like it was like ridiculous the amount of fans he had. For the Cape Town artists, we haven't kind of seen that before.
It was amazing.
Maybe about 5 or 10 times, between 5 and 10 times while we were talking. People, are you Jimmy Nevis? Can I take a picture? It's like, sorry guy. And then like we talk on, and then you Jimmy Nevis, can we take a picture? You know what I mean? So it was so amazing for me to see that just in terms of what Rude World, they sourced the artist, unknown guy with phenomenal talent from Athlone, and they created, obviously it was a team effort, but it was so amazing to see the possibility.
Amazing,
man. For me who was in at that point, I was aspiring to obviously grow my label, which I had started at that particular point in time. But just the motivation that I got from seeing that. And that's why I want to talk just a little bit about how we met, because that in itself is insane. So, do you remember Geeteth? I don't know if you remember Geeteth. You remember Geeteth, right?
I do.
So anyway, so G was our artist manager, right, at the time. And basically what happened was, he phones me on a Friday saying, "Kykie, bruh, are we ready for tomorrow?" And I'm like, remind me again, what's tomorrow? He's like, "Bro, the gig." I'm like, "What gig?" He's like, "No, the gig for the city, the paid gig with a band and the 3 acts." And I'm like, and I totally forgot about it. That was my bad, sorry, G, you know? I'm saying, "Listen, bro, give me an hour. Let me see what I can do." Right? Go on my phone, dude. Luckily, I was blessed that time to have a few contacts in the industry. So I get one of our artists at the time, David Neal, very funny. He's like, he was at one point traveling the world, doing like these shows and stuff, like these, these sort of gigs where you play like at hotels and stuff like that. Like he was in Greece the last time I spoke to him. So I got David Neal, I got Candice Thornton, I got and Lucia Ray to perform right at this gig this Saturday, right? So we get the band. I could play keys. Jeep plays drums. We had someone on bass. I think Jeep could have played bass and someone else could have played drums. But anyway, we made it work. Right? We were hustling. You know, we needed that cash. We needed the bank. We needed the bank. Studios are expensive. And so this girl comes out of nowhere, out of the back, because it was in the Nantas, right? And she's like, "I love the way that you guys play. Are you guys a band?" And we're like, "No, we actually like kind of like a label, right?" And she's like, "Yo, like, I really think you guys are dope. I'm part of Rude World, same label as Jimmy Nevis, right? I'm gonna speak to my boss, Rudi Africa, and I'm gonna set up a meeting." Nice. And bro, I literally didn't believe a word she said. I was like, like whenever after you playing on stage, people will say stuff exactly. And then, bro. Like I literally, you emailed me like probably the Monday. This was the set. You emailed the Monday, like, and dude, like I took a picture of that email that you sent, and I sent it to my team, and I said the boss of Rude World wants to meet with us, and that was such an important part in my my career in the entertainment industry. The way that you message, "Hey brother, spoke to Jeraine, she loved you guys. When can we meet?" Dude, like you were so humble, you were so honest, you were so pure, you were so sweet in your messaging, and it sort of also influenced the way that I lead in the sense that I don't necessarily think now you need to be that kind of way to be a leader. You need to sort of be like very demanding and very exactly. And dude, and like when I met you for the first time, you actually came into my room because that's where my studio was, and you're like, "Listen, we love you guys. We want you guys to do the album. Fuck one song. We want you to do the album." And that was like our first big gig. From there, I met the Shinga because I met Jeraine. So Jeraine says, "This guy's having an event." The Shinga? Yeah, he was on the show, dude. He was on the show.
So give me a shout out. I'm shouting him out.
No, we'll edit that part. So much people in my journey, right, I've met through you being the person that you are. So
appreciate your kind words. I'm gonna come back in next week.
Quite. So let's just dive into some more questions, bro. You're a man of many talents. You're a man of in-depth business knowledge. You have such great people skills, man. Like people can come into contact with you and say, "Nah, this man is genuine. This man means business, but he's being genuine about it." Looking at the Cape Town industry, where it's at now, with everything that's going on, right? What do you think is the way forward for you?
Sure, Jerry, it's me a question like that. I'm not gonna stand up to this question. I think for an artist, and I think this is so important for us, all our artists. You have to let an artist be an artist. Like we as a team would give our opinions, but we would never say you need to make this type of music because this is what's going to work for the market. That was never a conversation. Like you dumb it down. You can't do that to art. And that's what I loved about us was all of our artists. We asked them what they wanted to do. Like when you sign an artist, we say we are your fans. Like that's how we wanted to run it. Like we are here as your fans. You tell us what you want to do, and we will try our best to get the resources
to make it work.
And as a self-funded label, like some people have the stereotype of you sign to a label, they must put everything on a platter for you. Maybe the majors can, or we think they can, but a lot of time they don't.
They say you're signing paperwork, which means that you have to pay them back. I think.
Exactly, and they don't fund stuff for the artists as much as we think they do. So for us, like, it was a hustle every time, you know. And I think one of my I wouldn't say mistakes was, but I wanted all of artists to have everything at once, everything they needed, man. And it was so tough. It was so tough to tell maybe an artist, look, we don't have the resources at the moment to shoot a music video. And it's heartbreaking, man. Like, it's heartbreaking. So I think the way forward, the artist, is to just keep it pure.
Can I just jump in? Because what a lot of people don't know about you, Rudi, and I know from us doing a business transaction, was that your belief system was, I'm going to pay you your worth. There's no negotiating of rates, right? I'll pay you what you quote, right? As long as you deliver on the quality I expect. That's what I loved about you.
You should have given me a discount, chap. I will get to that in the future.
Like we said, studio equipment is expensive.
No, for sure. And, you know, like, you say stuff like as you're starting out, you don't have the resources to do a lot of things. So, but you have to hustle. So, like, meeting people like you, meeting people like Grandma's Keaton, man. Like, Keaton done remixes for us now. We had the Rural Anthem song. We had Jerain and the Rude Boys song. And he said, dude, I want to remix a song.
No problem.
So, okay, cool. Like, how much you want to get paid and stuff? Like, paid. Like, I just want to do it for the love of doing it.
Quite.
And that blew my mind, bro. Because you have this again. You have the stereotype of how's it going to work when you meet people in this industry? Like, is it business first, or is that organic? Like, do you vibe first? Like, it must be natural, man. So that was. And I've met people also with very much business first. Like, okay, before we discuss anything, I'm like, just let's do the music. Like, and that's the worst part about me was what I hated about the music business was the business. Like, I can, as much as you say I'm this businessman, I hate the business side. That's how crazy it is. Like, if you discuss money and stuff, I can't be in there. Like, you know, I can't.
But you always had Steve.
No, exactly.
Steve was that guy.
Exactly. Steve and Lenny, right hand men. I would prefer somebody else because I'm more like, man, I love your music. We need to sign you. I don't know what regards to the finances. They can chat to you about it, but we need you.
Yeah,
that's it. So again, it's you have to find that balance, man, because you in an industry where there's not a lot of support from, like we would say, government, like we're chatting about corporate, like man,
investment.
It's sponsorship, right? People always ask you, why don't you just get your event sponsored? Like, okay, so we would write a proposal to a sponsor, and all they would say was, can't give you cash.
Yeah,
we can give you a bar fridge.
Yeah, we can give you a tent,
a red carpet, and a tent. Like, don't need that. I need cash because my artists need to get paid, and we want to do some extra things, and there's band members to get paid. So that was the toughest thing, and you know these sponsors have money.
Yeah,
and you think like they preach on all their socials. Oh, we want to support local and. But there's no action.
Yeah,
like, don't give me 6 pack of.
Do you think like I think it's a fair assumption to make based on the fact that we know that the successful artists get sponsored money.
Yeah.
So
I wish I had seen
so
I've never like honestly I've never
so
received.
I don't know, maybe that was a long time ago. Do you think, or maybe?
I think it's always been like that, but it's for me a sponsor like, okay, we will sponsor your event. Okay, we'll invest in you, but you need to make this type of music.
Oh, okay.
And I think that was one conversation we did have with the sponsor, and it was like,
okay, so
you have to change who you are.
Yeah.
And that there again, it's the gut feeling of this. It doesn't fit. It has to be organic. Like you have to have that brand synergy, man. Like if you don't, you just like I see some artists when they come out and I see like 6 different brands, like, and every time it's a different brand you associated with. I'm like, I can't like like it doesn't sit well with me. You know what I mean? And as much as you respect everybody's hustles, like almost like for an artist you have to be as pure as possible, you know what I mean? But by all means, hustle, get your money, get the sponsors, but the sponsors are not going to just say, yeah. They're going to go, yeah, but you need to do what we tell you. And we never, ever got that. All we got was a bar fridge and everything. I'm thankful for it. Very thankful for it. But I would love more support, man, like in that area, from the corporates.
100%.
Because you had to send them 500 documents. You send them your blood, your eye scans, everything to actually just get in the room. Exactly. So I wish it was as easy as, hi, please sponsor us. We're local talent on the come up. It's not as easy as that, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but I always say, I'd rather have that as the cherry on top, and don't make that your main focus of doing something.
I think what we need to maybe, for the artists listening out there, sometimes we talk about it, and sometimes it's good to not get that extra helping hand, so that you actually understand how you know what I mean, and not bank on that investment or that sponsorship. And we spoke about this just before we started the podcast. Like, what happens if you don't get it? Like, do you not throw the event and disappoint the artist, or do you follow through and say, you know what, we might get some opportunities out of this, and what's more important, the music or the money? And I mean, in my own journey, I'm testament of, doing things and the money sort of finding its way, in the sense that if you don't do something, right, you don't meet the people, you don't get the opportunity, you don't execute on the opportunity, you don't get the money. So therefore, this, like you said, the first step, it's so vital. It's so vital, right? So, jumping to another question, you are now a father of two since we last done business together, right?
I'm old.
Brother, like, I'm going to say this, I say this off air, but, when I asked you, when we were at the Cafe Roof, when we supported one of your artists, and I asked you, how's it like, to be in the music game, and run the company and then be a father? And he told me, listen, bruh, you'll have half the time, but you'll have twice the drive, because niggas gotta eat.
That's so true. But there's such a blessing, man. Now I have 2 kids now. It's no time and quadruple the drive. But that's fatherhood is the best thing ever, bruh. Like, honestly, my boys, Daniel and Noah, they're 3 and 1 years old. And
they sound tough, so they're definitely going to be sent to
exactly. Man United, they will sign for Man United. I'll just say that.
Put it out there.
In the universe. But again, like, my wife, Siobhan, she's amazing, man. Like, the thing, she, like, I was telling you off air, like a natural parent. Like, I'm today still, like, figuring out. Like, I'm the 3rd child. Like, I'm like, what's I do here? And like we said, the most important thing you can be for your kids is just be there. Like, I still have no idea what I'm doing every day. I can find out new stuff every day.
I can just hear your wife shouting, take that out of your mouth. No, Rudi, I'm speaking to you.
Why did you give him the 3rd lollipop for the day? Because he was crying. That's why. You stop crying, so I gave him another lollipop. That's normally the fights that are every day. But I can't say no to them, man, and stuff as these. But they're beautiful. They definitely inspire me to want to do more. Like, want to do more for them. I think we chatted off air. We said, you want to give your kids all the resources, but you don't want to spoil them.
100%.
But you also want them to knock their head. You don't want them to be spoiled. So you have to find the balance of, if they came to me and they didn't support Man United, then they're out the house immediately. Don't come with Liverpool City nonsense. It's United. But jokes aside, they really make it's a whole nother level of just in awe, man. Like, I love him so much that I want to be overprotective, but I know one day that they're gonna say, no, Dad, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to go into the music business. I want to do this or that. And the crazy thing, I mean, I love them no matter what. 100%. Like, no matter what.
Do you think? Do you think Do you think being a father has made you a better businessman?
You definitely protect the pennies a bit more. I think
you better make more informed decisions.
You can't buy so many taggers anymore for yourself. You got to buy the kids' clothes. But a better businessman, I don't know. I don't know if I'm a great businessman. That is what I'm trying to be better at. And it's like those questions you ask yourself, like, people, like you said, they call you the CEO and the boss of this, but did you think, like, as you grow up, you think of a CEO as the suited up guy in a boardroom, and like, you need to, is that the norm? Is that what the level I need to be? Or can I do this my way? You know, and you find things like you said, people skills are so important. Where like my thing was, I hate egos and stuff like that. But like, don't approach me with your title. Like I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't. And I'm not going to tell you I am CEO. I've never gone. I'm CEO of Rude World. A better businessman. Like I'm trying every day. Like I'm trying to read more. I definitely. Like I was telling you of Phil Knight.
Yeah.
The co-founder of Nike's biography was a life game changer. I'm talking about. But every day I try to be better. I try to, like I said, sharpen the businessman skills. Like it's like art of negotiation. You know, all these different things I have to read. And but again, it's I like it natural, man. I don't like it forced. So the nice thing is just learning from people. I learn from you. I learn from Chad. I think he's this superstar taking over the world. You know what I mean? So, but a better. I wouldn't say a better businessman. I would say that having kids just it's pushing me to maybe do more. Like because you want your kids to be proud of you. You know, you want your kids to say that's my dad. You know, so. I'm trying, man. But, I'm trying. Stop.
So, you know, like for entrepreneurs, specifically for record label owners, what would be sort of the core advice? You know, if I came to you now and I said, you know what, Rudi, I started this label. These are the challenges I'm going through. I'm not getting support from investors. I'm struggling with capital. I'm struggling, you know, to kind of pay the bills. I have the talent. What are the core sort of messages that you would give someone in that situation?
The one main message: there's always a way. Like that's the thing. The more no's you get, should push you more to go. You know what? I'm really gonna find a way. And when you do find a way, you think, that was impossible, but look what happened. You look back and go, okay, then it motivates you to go. We can keep doing this. We need more no's. Exactly, you need more no's. That was I think that's
such a beautiful way to
think about it. Yeah, I think one of our challenges was also in the beginning was like getting on radio. We knew radio was important, obviously, but it wasn't the be all and end all. Like we wouldn't stop if they said no, and a lot of them said no a lot of the time. Like for example, Elephant Shoes. I think Jimmy submitted a year before, actually got on air, and everybody said no.
Yeah.
I think it was Group was the first. Shout out to Group FM. Yeah. They were the first station to play our music as well as from our other artists as well, like Jerain and Rude Boys and Balls and them. And Black Vulcanite. Shout out to Ali, that dude.
Wow.
Amazing,
dude.
Like I said, I'm just fans of them all. You know.
Even now, can we give a massive shout out to Hunter Rose?
Please,
we've worked with her. She's an amazing artist. I knew that she was going to be big when I met her the first time. She had like
beautiful soul,
dude. Like besides like the voice and the look and everything, she has like extreme confidence.
Yeah.
Like she has that thing where I'm gonna be a star. Like that, it's just
ingrained in.
It's who I am.
It's inspiring to see.
She's a fantastic person. She's bubbly and she's lekker and she's funny and you know what I mean. Yeah. But she always had that's one quality I saw about her, that she had, like, you know, I'm gonna find a way to make this work.
Yeah.
Like
you have to hustle, bro. You have to. And I want to give a major shout out to actually Leneve Hands and also my right hand man. Leneve runs our hip hop side of things, and also his project was Hunter. Like I can't take any credit for that at all. Like him, like when he sent the stuff, we're like, whoa, who is this again? Who is this? It's amazing voice. And Leneve, he's been running the shop. I mean, we blessed enough to know Malone the Boom, one of the producers from Switzerland. Yeah. And he, again, it's about the people you meet on the way. He gave them us a gap to go tour over there.
Yeah, I saw.
As unknowns, and they had like a 10-venue tour.
Crazy.
And from there, obviously, we met some booking agents in Germany, and again, Leneve was running the whole project because he was very passionate about it. I'm like, dude, fly, and like I can't take any credit for that.
Manager,
everything. Like Leneve does so many things that he shot the music videos for us once. We couldn't afford to shoot one, so we hired the camera and thing, and he just said, dude, I think I can do this. No idea how to do anything. But it came out amazing. I think he shot 2 of Bull's music videos, yeah.
Crazy.
But that's how you hustle. That's the beauty of saying, listen, nothing can stop you. Like if you just keep on. And again, he managed that whole, I mean, still to this, that whole project Hunter Rose. the music, we just dropped the music video now for NMS. Shot it in Switzerland and Germany. Again, from Malone the Boom's team. One of his friends is a videographer. He shot it, they edited it, and that's it. Like, it's amazing. Like, amazing.
And do you think that sort of these we could call it these moments of grace? Do you think that that's part and parcel of the way that you are? You know, did you know, because like for real, like I mean, when we met and we spoke, like there was no way I was not going to work with you, bro. You know, like it just was like, nah, like exactly what you said. Like,
let's make it happen.
Let's make it happen. Let's, as you said, let's make the magic. But it felt right, man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It has to, like you said, it has to be authentic, man. Like, if you want to work with an artist, before asking them their rate and stuff, just say, listen, can we have a cup of coffee? Can we just actually talk first before we actually think of anything? And that's so nice, you know, to have that natural sort of...
I believe that's very important.
It's so important, but and it's so important for people in this industry. Like, you get one side of where you get the artist, and that is their manager, and that is the head of that label, and you know that immediately because they make known that these are these people. And it's good to have a professional makeup about yourself. It's good to have that, but it's great to have that approachable factor. Like
100%.
I don't know if I can talk to that guy. He's not even making eye contact. You know what I mean? And it's just going up to someone. Hey, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
That over here. It's getting better. It's getting better, but
it's not done enough.
Not enough.
It's not done enough, and people don't understand. You know what? Like, there was a time when we all was like, dude, like we were packing out shows. Like, I mean, wherever we were, inside on the greens, you know, there was a period where we were packing out shows, but we weren't really making our money because our ethos was always we need to make the next show better than the one we just had. Like, that was our ethos. Correct. Even if it's one thing better. Because when we threw the shows, like, because we used to throw every week, and it was every second week, and it was once a month, because we wanted to maintain the quality of the show, never compromise on that, right? Sometimes there was a period that even though we were like, yo, dude, the shows would be amazing, there'd be like a full house, but because we always like spending money on like the equipment and paying people and stuff like that, and the Chad shot for us, and Liam was doing sound, and it was so tough also to, like, you put all this hard work and effort and then you don't even really make money. But what was rewarding and kept us going was that messages that came the next day. Dude, like, what you guys are doing are amazing. We are grateful. So if you guys need anything, those I remember those are the messages. Then I sit in bed and I think, yo, you know what? I could do another show. I could probably plan. It makes it worthwhile, man. Knowing that what you're doing means so much more than money. You
don't know who you inspiring. You don't know who you actually.
You're showcasing possibility, bro.
But it's so important to keep doing that. I'm so proud of you guys. Like, I remember the first Raw show you invited me to, and like I came in there and my name was on the table. I'm like, oh, Chad, like you have to roll it out like this big, you know. But it was so refreshing. I that's why the way you guys scout and give opportunity to local talent, it was far better than us. I like no word of a lie.
Thanks,
like
brother. That's big words.
That's what I've got to steal now from you guys.
Take it.
Take that.
Let's do something together.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it really, it was motivating. I was so proud of you that day. I was thinking, no, man, this is what Cape Town should be about. This is how collaboration should come about. I mean, you had like 16 acts.
Yeah, crazy.
From beatboxers to breakdancers to singers, and I didn't want to leave. That's how it was. I didn't want to leave. I didn't want the show to end. Like, you think you're bro. I'm gonna sit through 16 people performing. How they? I like, is it finished already?
Yeah.
And like the people we met there, I think I met about 4 artists there.
Yeah.
Man, like amazing drive, amazing stories.
Quite.
You know, my thing was, I wish that I could provide like this amazing package platform for them to just have everything that they need, that they deserve, to sit on the international stages, you know, and that, like, to this day, I'm still like, it still irks me, like, wow, I could have done more, man, like, can do more, like, how come it's not the playing field isn't leveled yet, you know, we still, there's still disadvantages here, and certain artists get more scope here and there, and that's how it is, and like, one thing I learned, which was sort of disappointing in the industry, was like, PR companies run the game. And like when we started, we knew nothing of radio plugging and PR. We just like put the music out and people love it, and then we'll do shows, people love us and we'll love them, and then you start hearing of, no, you've got to sign or hire this PR company service to get involved with the show, or to get on the stage you need to know that person, and to get in this magazine, and PR is good. I'm not slating it at all, but you start seeing that artists you've never who you don't see the story of, like they hustle, they come up, but you see they appear everywhere, like boom, 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 like, but I don't know you, I haven't even heard your song, but I see you here and there and there and there. So you're paying for a service, not because of your talent, but because you have the means to pay for the service. And that company is taking on yourself because that's what they offer.
Do you think that the art in that, the art gets diluted in some way, shape or form because of that transaction that's happening?
That's what I said. That's why I said I hate the business side of the music business. Like, you start seeing all these other things behind the scenes of, oh, you've got to do this to get there, and it can't be as simple as put the music out. People love it, they share it. You do shows like
crazy.
The
the stuff that you guys were doing, I don't know if people know this, but I mean, you guys were like, your artists were selling out Karstens Gardens. Like, I mean, you guys were on levels. You guys were on levels. You guys, I mean, the tracks was on high rotation on every radio station. Like, you guys
God's grace.
You had a fantastic facility there in town, in Long Street. I still remember it was close to the print shop.
Memories now.
Crazy, bro.
It was one of our I think most proudest moments was when we opened that office.
Dude,
that was after 4 years of work. The sad part was having to leave that office after 2 years. Like, you jump in a little too deep. But it was such, and the time we had then was, I tell you, incredible. Like, the
lessons that's learned.
And just to have that space for, instead of meeting at coffee shops all the time with the artists, we could just sit and just chill together. Like, but you know, the office was such a sacrifice. When I look back and I think maybe I should have done things
a little bit differently.
But that's how you learn. Like, and we did jump in a little bit too deep. In Long Street, rent was expensive. There was no parking. We had no parking in the building. So every day I parked, but on the other side of town. But parking was like 100 rand a day. But there was a time I had to call my wife, my now wife. I'm like, babe, I don't have parking money. Please send. Please. She's like, what? I'm like, don't worry. Time's a time at the moment. But that's the sacrifice you have to make. You have to.
And the things that you're sharing with me is testimony of the kind of person that you are. You've never been a person that's trying to look good, man. It's just, you just say it how it is. Like, people would be thinking, other people that were in that position would say, I'll never say that on air. What would people think? But those lessons are important.
So important, bro.
You know, you took the step, you know, and you found it, you know, it is a bit too deep for me right now. And you've learned the lessons, you know, and that's the important thing about taking the step.
I should write a book one day, bro.
Me?
And you.
Okay. Let's do it.
But it's so important. Exactly. It must. Because when you are painting this picture of the music business or the music industry, you just think, wow, it's glitz and glam, it's spotlight, it's these amazing things. But when you're actually in it, that's a whole nother ballgame. It can get very dark at times. I'm not gonna lie. There's times where you sit and think, oh man, putting out this great music, but nothing's happening. Like, there's no traction. People, you love the song, but people say they don't like it. Like, but how come? Like, do you doubt yourself?
I think your strategy is the future. Exactly what you said earlier when you said that. Don't worry about like you create the art and we will get the guys to sort out. You know, we're not going to meddle in your process.
We can't. We don't.
This is what I want to tell all the artists and creatives out there. Art will always be preference.
Always. It has to be.
You cannot change that. And because it's preference, right? The people around you, the people that's in your suburb, the people that's in your city, the people that's even in your country, right? Might not gravitate to your music, but that does not mean it's not good.
That's
what you need to understand. I'll give you the greatest example that we have is the Antwoord. They were not loved in our city initially and in our country, but they were loved internationally, and they blew up like in next to no time, and they were with all of the celebrities. I mean, the top Kanye West, all of the guys, right? And that shows you that you need to have some sort of faith in your craft. You need to also, within the same breath, be able to take criticism and get better at what you do.
Taking criticism is the
key. But the mindset is just because you put something out, right, and it's judged, that's part of the process. That's part of the beauty, being vulnerable. If it's not received, don't give up, because the result is not the goal. The process is the goal.
That's exactly it. It reminds me of this Tyler Perry story when he said, you know, he was doing shows, 5 people, 2 people, and he just said, you know, there was one time he was leaving his house, and the guys would come to repossess his car.
Crazy.
And he said, okay, take the stuff, I got a show to do. But he was never like deterred. He went and he said, I've got to do the show. You never know who's going to be in that crowd. He goes, he performs to 10 people.
Crazy.
They repossess his car, everything. The next day he gets a call, look, I was there at your show. I want to offer you a movie deal. I'll start the $20 million, $20 million movie deal. It takes that one person, that one moment. Sound like Eminem, 8 Mile here, but it really takes that. That's why you have to try as many things. That's what I loved about us. We weren't afraid to make the mistakes, man.
100%.
Like you have to try certain things. Our main thing was, like we spoke about earlier, quality control. Like as long as we loved what we were putting out, that was most important. You can't do anything other than that. You can't have marketing gimmicks and competitions. Win a phone if you like, man. Share my song. Like, no, man, that isn't it. Just give me the music. Just let me hear the song.
100%.
Like, stop the gimmicks. Like, stop that. Just give it raw.
Excuse the plan. Do you think? Because for me, I'm almost like in life now. You know, at my age, I'm seeing this pattern of like this. You know.
What pattern?
Okay, everyone believes in different things, and I love that about humanity, and that's beautiful. Our differences, you know, help us see each other in different ways, and I just think, like, in my own personal experiences, like whenever. Like that thing that the story you told about Tyler Perry, it's almost like when you are willing to put it all on the line, there's a moment of grace.
That's it.
For some reason, it has happened to me many times where I've done something where maybe, you know, people might think, okay, cool, you have all of the stuff, but it's literally your last 500 rand and your 1,000 rand, and you say, okay, cool, you know what, roll of the dice. There's something when you put everything, when you're willing to put everything on the line, you suddenly, in some way, shape or form, you receive, I mean, I would call it a moment of grace, where some angel would just say, yo, brah, you know that 2K that I owed you, I got the money from, you know what I mean?
True.
So this, I think there really is something in that when you actually willing, when you're just willing to put everything on the line, that you'll be rewarded for that courage.
And there's so many good people in this industry. We talk so much about, you know, the bad side. There was one time, I'll never forget, we were doing this show and we had to pay the sound engineer, and I didn't have the cash. But I was like, listen, just do the show, I'll pay you afterwards. Standard Cape Town, move. And I was like, shit, don't have the money.
Didn't make it at the door.
And they're mailing me. And I just mailed back and said, look, I'm so sorry, man. Going through such a tough time at the moment. Do you mind if I just pay you when we can? They were like, they replied, I was thinking, this can go one of two ways.
Yeah,
they were like,
they
were like, don't worry, we know how it goes. Pay us when you can. I was like, oh, thank you, God. You know what I mean? Like, and there's so many times that has happened with us. Like, I can't tell you how many times. There's so many people giving us so much grace as well.
And I think that's the beauty. And this is what I want people to understand. I want people to understand that's what we need. We need understanding. We need grace. We need that kind of attitude. But it needs to come from honesty. It needs to sincerely. It can't be like you just saying that you have like, okay, cool, I don't have the money, and then you filling your tank or you using that money, you know, to sort out something else, man. It's you genuinely like not having the money. And I think like if the person genuinely doesn't have the money, right? For instance, and then you as the person who the money is owed to, you then saying, do I actually need it right now? Because most of the time the answer is no. Most of the time the answer is no. And if you're really honest, you know, you'll find like life will sort of balance everything out where the people that owe you will start paying on time because they know that you, like if you say, listen bro, like, you know, normally I'm not, but I really need it now. Okay bro, don't worry. You always make a plan for me, I'm going to make a plan for you.
Exactly.
You will see things will start, just start falling into place, man.
And you meet like-minded people, like you end up just owing each other money all the time.
Let's write it off.
But it works out because
let's call it the draw.
I love it, especially if I owe you more, it's fine. But I mean, it's a beautiful thing when those like moments of grace, like it's truly God's grace, where you think your world's ending. Like how do you put your foot forward and then boom, people start out of the blue just favors and help and this and that, because you know, sad thing is as a brand, you have to always show that you on point. But I would rather give you the real and say they were tough times, bro. Like especially now is a really tough time for everybody. 100%. But I've been going through it before. Like you have these great moments, these great years. Then you have the years of just nothing happening. There's like nothing. You're doing everything possible, and there's nothing happening. And you start questioning yourself. Like, then you think, should I change sort of how
I approach the world? Maybe I'm too nice.
Maybe we should be a bit more ruthless. Maybe we should be a bit more money chasing. Maybe we should be more like it. But then you think, nah, man, don't compromise who you are for those things. And like, also I saw this tweet. Somebody said, don't forgive yourself for what you had to do in survival mode. Like, we all go through stuff, man. There's stuff you have to do and just to survive, right? And you might be disappointed in yourself, but you can't. You have to be kind to yourself, which is, especially in this industry, you have to be kind to yourself, man. Like, I want to shout out so many people that would like, so many names. I have to shout out Lauren, Ashley Parks. Oh, amazing lady. She was Women's Day the other day. She was Jimmy's artist manager.
She was great. I remember.
Amazing, like hustler, like just non-stop, outworking everybody. And so many people, like all our artists. You know, like the funniest question we get when say an artist leaves the label. People are like, oh my word, what happened? Oh no, what happened? What was their fight? And no, sometimes that's just life. Like
100%. People grow, people move on.
That's the thing. You know what? No matter what, I've always wanted the best for. No matter if they were with us and left or whatever. Like, I just want to see you shine.
100%.
And you feel sad, like, you know, like sometimes the artists disappoint, like we couldn't give them what they wanted, man. Like with regards to the resources that we spoke about, and it's heartbreaking, man. You get to sit there and say, we don't have the means. Like, it's heartbreaking.
Brother, I wish I had more time. This has been absolutely amazing.
Come back next week, it's fine.
100%, bro. And yeah, bro, like just before I ask my last question, I just like to say that you've been a mentor of mine, you've been a friend, you've been a brother. You've opened so many doors for me, and just the way that you handled yourself, it made me lead in a different way, in a more positive and encouraging and inspirational way. So thank you for that. So before I ask my last question, where can people find you?
I actually used to be heavily on social media, and now this year I actually took a break because by word you were dead. No, I'm joking. I needed a reset. So, 100%. But Rudi@rudeworld.co.za is my email. We're on Insta, Rude Records. Same with Facebook. Perfect. So yeah, message there, email me.
And we'll have all that links on the description.
So give my email as well. People contact. I want to say sorry to some people. They mail through I get a lot of mails, man,
Yeah.
and it's my song, and people
Yeah.
listen to it. I
Yeah.
try its best to
Yes,
listen to
yes,
everything,
yes, I
but
can
they get so
imagine.
sad,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
is my fault. I do apologize. I'm going to be better at that.
Cool.
But just responding and sort of giving sort of feedback, encouragement,
Okay.
and all this. But yeah, Rudi at Rudeworld, that's here today.
Excellent. So my
Mail
last
me.
question for you, Mr. Rudi Africa, is I'm TMing that.
Please do.
Is how do we make the industry, the creative industry, a better place?
I think collaboration is definitely important. Like even if we don't work together, just let's bounce some ideas. I think that especially now in these times that we're living, it's like there's no idea too crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't have it all figured out. I wish I did. I think now it's such a tough time where like my thing is my love is going to live shows, but acoustic raw live show. That's the most beautiful. And now we can't even get together. We can't even. But one day we will again. And
100%.
the future, look, the future is this. I'll read you some gems. I wish I had some beautiful pearls of wisdom to drop now. But for artists, to keep your creativity. Don't let anybody tell you what music you should make, how. By all means, take constructive criticism. Take it. Work on your craft every day. But be you, like, put out the music that you want to. Like, the doors that will open, I can't tell you what's going to happen in the future.
Yeah.
But as long as you keep true to yourself, you'll see doors open that you never imagined.
100%.
So, hopefully that is...
And with that said, brother, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much.
Those were very wise words.
Thank you for
from a
having
very
me.
wise man. Thank you for being here. Keep shining and keep inspiring.
Thank you, brother.
One love.
Thank you.
Namaste.